Welcome to Tow and Tell, where we discuss the issues and events of the day in the Australian RV industry and lifestyle. Now, recently we chatted with the CEO of the Victorian Caravan Industry Association, as well as the Caravan and Camping Industry Association of New South Wales, about both of those states' super shows. Today, we're turning our attention further north to the Let's Go Queensland Caravan and Camping Super Show, and I have Jason Plant, the CEO of Caravanning Queensland, on the line. Now, Jason, he's currently at the Caravan Industry Association of Australia's national conference, but he's taking time out to chat about the show and a little bit about the wider state of things up there in Queensland. So, Jason, welcome to Tow and Tell. Now, the Queensland Super Show, it's rolling into the Brisbane Showgrounds from June 4 to 8. So, first of all, let's talk about the importance of the Queensland RV industry to the state of Queensland.
Yeah, sure. We punch well above our weight when it comes to, I guess, the economic contribution to the Queensland economy up here. The industry itself, we've got more registered vehicles, RVs, in Queensland than any other state. We cracked 250,000 a couple of months ago. A lot of registered vehicles up here. The industry itself is worth about $2.6 billion to the Queensland economy, and we're really, as I said before, punching well above our weight when it comes to economic contribution.
It's no secret, though, that 2025, it's shaping up to be a difficult year for the RV industry in Australia. How is that bearing out in Queensland? Are you seeing a downturn in production locally and a downturn in caravan and motorhome registrations?
Yeah, look, registrations are still strong. However, we are seeing over the past 6 months, the retail environment has slowed. As everyone's aware, we've had some shocking weather up here in Queensland from December right through. It's actually a beautiful fine day here for once, but we've had a tough start to the year weather-wise, and I think that has impacted people's just their sentiment, their buying sentiment, and retail has suffered through that. But look, we're optimistic that moving forward, we've had some things go our way. The election has been and gone. We've got an interest rate cut on the horizon from all reports next week, which I think will be good for those people who have been out researching but just haven't made that decision to jump into the market. And I'm optimistic that June is going to be that catalyst to kick things off again.
I'd imagine that you would have some hope or expectation, especially, in the current sort of uncertain economic environment, that you would hope that the Queensland Super Show, really sees some good numbers. So let's talk about some of the attractions at this year's show. Aside from the opportunity to, see some new vans, what are some of the other ways that you're hoping to attract families and people who are perhaps thinking of attending the show for the first time? I would imagine that you're always looking to widen the net.
Yeah, we do. And this year we've expanded our entertainment program, and it's not just purely entertainment. We like to educate as well. But over the weekend, we've got some fantastic kids activities. We set up a park with circus activities and face painting, rock climbing wall for the kids. For the parents, we've got our van life stage, which we've got some great content creators from all walks of life presenting regularly on that stage about their experiences out travelling through Australia. And then we've got our masterclass stage as well, which is extremely popular. We've been running that for years, and the boys deliver some fantastic content, which every session is full. So we've got that running every day of the show as well.
Now, we are going to cut over to Millard. Now, Millard has been doing some interesting things with their caravans lately. And, of course, they're going to be there at the Queensland Super Show. Now, one of their vans that really stands out to me at the moment is the M-Flow. So let's have a quick look.
Take me somewhere
So do you see what I mean? Those Enflows by Millard, they look really good. So if you're going over to the Queensland Supershow, I reckon the Millard stand is worth a look. Now, I'm glad you brought up those van safe masterclasses. Now, you did say that you do have a focus on education at the show. So let's talk a little bit about why that's important. Although the state of the industry has slowed down a little bit, there are always still new people, buying a caravan for the first time, heading out on the road. So why do you think, do you think there is a lack of education around safe towing practices, and that's sort of something that you try to address with these shows? Yeah,
definitely. Van Safe, we've been running that up here for probably about 8 years now, I would say, under a different name, but we took on the brand Van Safe a couple of years ago, and it's extremely popular. There's a lot of people, not just newcomers to the industry, but experienced caravanners that just don't understand particularly what loading that caravan, the impact that it has on the stability and the towability of that product. And the information that we impart onto consumers through these masterclasses is extremely valuable. It provides them with the information, the tools to get out on the road and tow confidently and safely, which is what we want them to do. We want them to get to their destination and back in one piece.
And it wouldn't be a caravan show without the opportunity to win some, fantastic prizes. You're giving away, as I understand it, a brand new 18-foot 6-inch Majestic Knight SLE caravan, which is valued at nearly 78 grand. What a fantastic prize.
It's a wonderful prize. Thank you to the guys at Majestic for putting that prize forward. And one lucky attendee to the show will walk away with that prize. All they have to do is scan a few QR codes, make their way around the show, and drop that entry form in, and you might win that $78,000 caravan. It's a fantastic prize, really good.
That's a great reason to go to the show, aside from the opportunity to see all these fantastic new products. Hell, you might even win one. But you're also giving away a farm stay prize.
Yeah, we are, for the kids as well. So it's a big focus for us. We've been running kids activities at the show as well. Families are very important. So we're launching actually three animated RV characters. I can't go into too much detail, but that'll be a nice surprise for the kids when they get to the show. There'll be a motorhome, a caravan, and a camper trailer, and a little animated series. And the kids will have to find them, enter the competition, and they could win that farm stay.
Now, Kratzmann's RV Supercentre is probably the largest RV dealership in Queensland, and it wouldn't be the Let's Go Queensland Caravan and Camping Super Show without a strong showing from them. And I'm chatting with the Senior Sales Manager, Stuart Simpkins. Now, Stuart, am I right in thinking that Kratzmann's is the biggest RV dealership in the Sunshine State?
I believe so. With the amount of vans that we have and the amount of brands that we have on sale. You could say that we are one of the biggest in the region, with the likes of Adria, Design RV, Corrimal, Windsor, Track, and obviously the big news, Royal Flair's coming on board. We are somewhat a large concern.
Now, that is exciting news. Kratzmann is taking on Royal Flair. So you are, of course, home to a large and diverse range of caravans and motorhomes. But at this year's show, are you putting a focus on any particular brands?
Yeah, the major brands, obviously, with us have always been the Adria, Design RV, Corrimal and Windsor. But now, obviously, with the likes of Royal Flair, it's given us that different edge. They're bringing to us another concept.
Now, you mentioned Design RV. My perception, Stuart, is that brand is really taking off at the moment. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of them on the roads these days. Do you think that would be fair?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are catching on to the fact that it's an incredible brand. They've just recently received an award as well, which has branded them up in the top echelons of Australian build vans.
Now, you mentioned also the Corrimal range. What's happening with Corrimal these days, and what can we see from Corrimal at the show?
So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be taking down our Thrill Seeker range, which is their semi-off-road version. We'll also take down the Soul Seeker, which is more of their road van, which accommodates, obviously, your caravan parks, your national parks and light dirt roads.
Okay, and what about the Windsor Rapid? As we know, the Windsor Rapid a few months ago did have a bit of an off-road overhaul, and the canvas was taken out, and we've got, hard walls for the bed area, and I gather you'll have that on display as well?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, the Windsor Rapid's taken off. It's been something that has really got a good following at the moment. So we've got down there the little 13-foot, which is a nice couples van. We then bridge out into the 15-foot couples van, but we've also got the 15B, which is the bunk version.
So do you feel like the public has really embraced this new look Windsor Rapid?
Yeah, we're tending to find that because it hasn't got a canvas feel to obviously the bedside of things, and it's a lockable back end, we're tending to find that a lot of people are liking the changes of it.
So, of course, you know, Kratzmann's, you're a well-known motorhome dealer as well. You've got, Windsors and Kias and Winnebago motorhomes. So which ones can the public, look through and drool over? Because, look, for me, that is one of the joys of going to a caravan show, is to go through all these big, beautiful motorhomes. They are genuine dream machines, aren't they? What can we expect from you guys?
Well, the biggest thing is, obviously, we've got the Winnebago brand, which is really a household name. Obviously, Windsor as well, up here in Brisbane, and you'll also find Kia. But through the Windsor and Winnebago brand, Winnebago will come with iLucas, the Burleys, the Jarvis. There's a lot of different versions out there. Also with Windsor having the Flinders and the Simpson. They've got the Daintree, which is the smaller version, which is really good at the moment, a really popular brand.
And do you have a hot tip on any particular motorhome? What one should people really look for?
To be fair, one that's really pepping people at the moment is the Windsor Daintree. You'll find that with that motorhome, the Windsor Daintree, it is smaller, it's very easy to drive, and people really take to it because it's parkable. It's something that people can get in, take off, and not feel that it's a big cumbersome van.
So there you go, folks. A hot tip from Kratzmann's Senior Sales Manager, Stuart Simpkins. Check out the Windsor Daintree motorhome. He reckons it's pretty special, and I know from experience it actually is. So don't miss the Kratzmann RV Supercentre display at this year's Brisbane Supershow, which is on June 4 to 8 at the Brisbane Showgrounds. Now, Kratzmann RV Supercentre, you guys do have quite a few stands, but look out for, is it stand 500 and then go from there?
Correct. If you look at us on stand 500, and we've got various other stands at the show.
So definitely check them out and maybe grab yourself a bargain while you're there at the show. I would imagine you will have some show specials.
We'll have some fantastic specials at the show. We're looking forward to seeing many people come through our vans and make sure they see what kind of concepts that we're actually deriving at the moment.
Wouldn't be a super show without the chance to grab a special. Stuart, thank you so much for having a chat.
Absolute pleasure. See you at the show.
See you there.
Now, on the Move Caravans is a very aptly named caravan manufacturer. They are always on the move doing new things with their models. Case in point, they have recently released a brand new range of touring caravans, blacktop tourers, and they're going to be on display at the Caravan Show as well. Let's take a look. Okay, that's On the Move Caravans, full range of rigs to check out from that manufacturer at the Brisbane Showgrounds. This is a huge event. It's the biggest RV show in Queensland, if not the entire country, although I think our friends or your friends down south might dispute that one, Jason.
Yeah, there's some healthy banter between us and Victoria around who's the biggest. We might claim it this year, I think. We're very close, yeah.
So in terms of the overall footprint at the show, at the Brisbane Showgrounds, or do you mean more in terms of visitor numbers?
Well, it's the overall footprint and the exhibitor numbers. So we've cracked 260 exhibitors, and we're still going. For this show, we've got some over 60,000 net square meters of space. The showgrounds itself is about 22 hectares, I think. We take up every square foot of that showgrounds. The only event bigger is the Royal Show. We've got on count this morning, I think over 140 different recreational vehicle brands on display. Don't know how people make a decision. It could be quite overwhelming.
You're dead right, though. That's what I always think every time I go to a caravan show. I think, oh, my goodness, how could you, if you were in the market, you would have to have really whittled down your choice in terms of what you want before you actually go to the caravan show. Otherwise, you'll never be able to make a decision.
No, that's why we introduced the 2-day ticket as well a few years ago. People need a couple of days. They've got to do their research beforehand, but then and have an idea of what they're looking for. But it's so vast, this event, that you do need a good couple of days to make sure you're making that right decision on the product that you eventually purchase.
No, 100%. Now, Jason, you did say that you're so far up to 260 exhibitors for the show. What are you hoping to get to, and how does that compare to previous records?
Look, well, that's exceeded our best. That's exceeded the largest exhibitor-wise. So we're hoping. I think we could get to about 270 by the time we finish. We're 3 weeks out. Yeah, I think we're 3 weeks out now. So there's still inquiry coming through. Very limited space left. But look, we're heading towards a record number.
Okay, record number of exhibitors, but what about show goers? Let's chat about visitor numbers. What are you expecting this year, and how would that compare to your previous records?
Yeah, look, we're expecting over 40,000 people to the show this year. Early ticket sales have been very strong. We've gone out with some really strong messaging through social media. And we're seeing that flow through in early ticket sales. So people are making a decision later to attend these types of events. So traditionally people would pre-purchase earlier, but and in recent years that has moved to closer to the event. But fortunately we are seeing an early take-up of ticket sales. So I'm like I said earlier, I'm optimistic. I think this is going to be a strong show.
I'm with Robin, the CEO of On The Move Caravans. Now, the big news here is that On The Move has just launched a new touring range of caravans. Now, Robin, this is the Galaxy 4.8. What's the idea here?
So this is the smaller of all of our tour events. This is 4.8 metres, or what we would call 15.5 feet. When we get inside, you'll see what we've done here that's completely different to anything we've ever done before, where we've taken a touring van, but instead of being off-road, we can actually take the outside into the van. Everything we do is composite, including our now patented lock and block system, which is how we connect our walls to our roof. Now, this van is a little bit different to anything else we've built before in the fact that the floor, the roof, the front wall and the rear wall are one piece. So we actually have a join at the rear of the van, so it's only 3 pieces, 2 walls, and then everything else is one.
Now, we're just going to cut back to Millard for a moment to check out their new X-Rider. Now, the X-Rider is also going to be on display at the Queensland show, and another one worth checking out.
So there you go. That's the new Millard X Rider. Now, what do you think of that caravan? Let us know in the comments. I would be interested in your point of view as well. I hope you're right. In fact, I suspect you are. I think there's a real appetite for caravanning at the moment, although we're not seeing it necessarily in terms of, van sales.
Well, we had our Gold Coast event in February. We were 15% up on attendance. Sales weren't super strong, but the feedback from members was that there are a lot of people out there, they're researching, they're looking into the industry. There's a lot of newcomers that are considering it, but they just aren't prepared to take that jump. So I think people are looking to external influences to increase that confidence. And I think now the election has passed, and with interest rate cuts on the horizon, I think June's going to be the show that starts that.
Do you think that there's something to be said for, international factors? You've got certain craziness happening overseas, whereby it gives people the sense of urgency to, go and buy the caravan of their dreams because we just don't know what's around the corner. So let's just go and do it now while we can.
Yeah, look, I think international factors do play into people's decisions. There's someone over in the United States that's causing a little bit of disruption at the moment. And I think, international travel isn't cheap. And I think that could play into our favour as well with June. Once we have once the interest rate cut comes in, we're seeing fewer people travelling to the US at the moment. It's expensive. There's uncertainty. What caravanning and travelling at home does, it provides you. It's a safe option. You're the pilot of your own journey. You can go where you want, when you want. You've got a recreational vehicle that can last you for years and years and years as a holiday or lifestyle option.
And of course, you can sell it down the track. It's literally an asset.
That's it.
So finally, Jason, what's next for the Queensland Supershow? It's been in its current location of the Brisbane Showgrounds for as long as I can remember. Are there any plans to find a new venue, or does the existing location continue to work, as long as you don't end up with too many more exhibitors than, the potential 270 you might end up with?
Yeah, look, we've got a great relationship with the Showgrounds. We've been there for nearly 50 years, and we do have an event coming up in 2032, the Olympics, which is going to cause some disruption. And the RNA Showgrounds is an athlete's village for the show. So we do have some disruption on the horizon, but look, we see that as a long-term home for us. The beauty about the Olympics that it will force some redevelopment and which will reinvigorate those showgrounds. Some parts of it are looking a bit tired. But when you roll in all of those recreational vehicles, it lifts it up, makes it look fantastic.
So the Let's Go Queensland Caravan and Camping Show, it's on at the Brisbane Showgrounds from June 4 to 8. Tickets are on sale now at caravanqld.com.au, and they are a little cheaper if you buy them online rather than at the gate. Jason, thanks heaps for being on Tow and Tell, and good luck with the show. Enjoy the national conference, and mate, I'll see you up in Queensland in a few weeks.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, mate.
Now, Thetford's a supplier to the Australian caravan industry that is doing some very interesting things at the moment, particularly with their Indus wastewater management system. Let's have a quick look.
Thanks, Max. Hey, look, we're really excited to be displaying at the Let's Go Caravanning show in Brisbane. We've got a couple of new products that we're releasing at that show. The first one that I want to talk about is the Indus system. Indus we launched earlier this year, and we've got a lot of really positive inquiry about. It's a full water management sanitation system designed predominantly for motorhomes, but we are looking to design one for caravans as well, which we hope to have more information on that towards the end of this year. Avan is our launch partner for Indus, and they've done a great job promoting the system for us. We've had a lot of interest at the shows that we've taken it to so far, and we expect the same here in Brisbane. Indus is a revolutionary system. It's a full water management system, as I said. The beauty of Indus is that it's all plumbed through the floor of the RV. You no longer require a wall to fit a toilet to, so that allows the designers of RVs to have endless possibilities on the layout. So the toilet can be placed anywhere in the RV. You no longer have to have it on an external wall. So it really does open up the opportunities for different layouts and different designs for RVs. As I said, full water management system, so additives automatically integrated into the system. Everything happens at the push of a button. It uses a macerator to break the waste down, which then gets pumped into a black tank. The discharging device is also very convenient in that you don't have to pull a cassette out of the side of the RV anymore and walk it over to a dumping location. You simply pull your vehicle up to the dumping location, pull out the discharge device, sit it on the dumping location, walk back to your van and press the button, and the system does the rest for you. The way it works is it dumps the black waste first, and then it pumps the grey water into the black tank to rinse the black tank out, and then empties your grey water as well. There's a handy app that we have that's integrated into the system as well that tells you what your additive levels are, what all your water tank levels are, being fresh water, grey water and black water, and it'll also estimate as to when you need to empty that black tank. As part of the app, it will give you the dumping locations as well. So when you're getting close to needing to dump, you can simply look at the app, find your closest dumping location and drive to that. The other product that we're releasing in Brisbane is a diverting toilet. Lots of people are now looking for waterless and chemical-free toilets or additive-free toilets. So we've released a separating toilet that separates the solids from the liquids. We've based ours off our cassette toilet footprint. So from an OEM perspective, it gives a lot of flexibility to be able to keep their layouts and keep their designs the same as a cassette toilet, offer the cassette toilet as a standing offering, but allow customers to upgrade to a separating toilet to give them the option as to which way they want to go. The other beauty of our system is that if in the future they want to sell the Caravan and they think it's more marketable with a cassette toilet rather than a separating toilet, they can actually convert our separating toilet back to a cassette toilet for when they're ready to sell the van. So quite a flexible system both for the OE and the end user. We'll also have an aftermarket product that can be used to convert existing cassette toilets to a separating toilet. So lots of possibilities, and a great product for those that want to go additive and water free. So we're looking forward to it. We're hoping everyone can come down to our stand at 576 at the Royal ICC building at the Brisbane Show. Come and see us. We'll explain each of the systems, and we'll even take you over to Avan to show you the Indus system.
So if you go into the Brisbane Showgrounds, you've got a question about, RV sanitation and hygiene, maybe fridges, whatever it might be, go on over to the Thetford stand and have a chat.
The Let's Go Queensland Caravan and Camping Super Show. It's on at the Brisbane Showgrounds, the 4th to the 8th of June. Buy your tickets online and it'll be slightly cheaper than buying at the gate. And also with your ticket, you get free train travel directly to the showgrounds. So we've been shuttle busing people into the show for years while the redevelopment has gone on with the train network, the train station in Brisbane. It's now open. We're going to be the first event utilising it. It will drop you off right in the heart of the show, and that travel is free if you have a ticket. So grab your ticket online.